and this week it hits close to home. I don't know if you've ever had anybody close to you that has struggled with depression or maybe thoughts of suicide. But today, Pamela Howard, one of the founders of A-Sicka Heals Foundation, joins me. And this is what her foundation focuses on, is mental health, mental illnesses, and they want for the community to overcome these things. So dive in with me, and also check out the bonus video that's in the description and the links that go along with it. Well, Pam, thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it. So Pam and I wouldn't say go way back, but we do go back. Her son and I were really good friends, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So can I call you the founder of A-Sicka Heals Foundation? Okay, so the founder of A-Sicka Heals Foundation, I'm very excited to share this foundation and put it out there for our community and even more to know about. So Pam, can you tell us the roots of A-Sicka Heals Foundation, and try not to make me cry?
I'm gonna try not to cry. A-Sicka Heals Foundation is rooted from, as Amanda said, my son, Anthony Howard. Anthony was 26 years old when he passed away. And that's how A-Sicka Heals came about. Me and my husband, we founded this foundation to help other people, to inspire them through Anthony, from Anthony. It's like I feel as though Anthony is speaking through me now. God is telling me that now, that I'm doing what Anthony would have wanted to do, because to know Anthony was to know he was loved, and he loved God, and he loved people, and he loved helping people. So that's how A-Sicka Heals came about, from Anthony Howard.
Yeah, I miss Anthony. So what is the mission of A-Sicka Heals Foundation? You talked about mental illness, but what's the mission of the foundation?
We all have mental health, just like we have physical health. So the mission for me, for the foundation, is more to inspire, motivate, and uplift people to talk about things that are hindering their progress, that are hindering them as far as navigating life. So more on the depression part of our mental health, because we all have went through some type of depression. We all have went through a bout of just being down and out, like I'm just not enough. I'm just not doing enough. So my mission, and along with the foundation, is to help people to realize that God would have you to be who he would have you be. So you're automatically enough because God said so. Not because he or she said so, but because God said so.
I love it. So mental health is more so you're trying to help people speak up, speak out if you're struggling with the thoughts, say, of depression or suicide or things like that. Just knowing Anthony, he was always caring about others, always, and that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. But he always neglected himself, and so that's why I really love this foundation, because there's so many people, especially right now, who are hiding behind cameras and
there's social media.
And there's a lot of depression out there, and that's why I think you guys can help a lot of people.
And I really am looking forward to it.
How do you guys engage the community? What do you do?
Well, we give back. Anthony's high school, since we started the foundation, we give scholarships, and part of the scholarship is to write about mental health, like things that you may be going through, or just what mental health is to you. And what we have done is every year, well, not every year, last year, was the first year we was founded. We actually was grounded 2019.
Okay.
Anthony passed away 2018, 2019. I had an EIN. I was ready. I was thirsty. I was like, I have to keep his legacy alive. I have to speak for him.
Yeah.
So in 2019, we sponsored a family for Christmas.
Okay.
And we gave some money, a donation to help her with her children. We also annually, after the pandemic, because I like to encourage, part of my mental health is working out, going for walks, and just listening to God. Sometimes you just need that space, and that tranquility to just hear from God in a good space. And my space is walking down the trails with the trees and just looking at God's nature. So annually we started walk, ride. You can walk, ride in a wheelchair, a scooter, or ride your bike. But it's a get physical. We started that 2020.
Yeah.
And we want to have the community kind of to get together and just, you meet people that way.
Absolutely.
So that was one of the ways we were giving back, trying to give back to the community, is come together that way. And also we did back to school drive supplies in New York, Beacon, New York. We did that. We sponsored a basketball league this year.
Cool.
In Beacon, New York. And Beacon is where Anthony was born and raised, part of his life there.
Aww.
So we're trying to, I'm looking forward to 2022 is doing more in Maryland, because Anthony did come here and he loved Maryland.
He did.
He did. He loved Maryland. He loved the people.
He had two homes.
He did.
So with that said, Pam, there's Beacon, New York, there's Waldorf, Maryland. How can people connect with you? Say if they're struggling and they want to reach out for help or get connected with just the community of A-Sicka Heals. What's the best way to get connected with you?
Well, we do have an email, asickaheals.org. That's one way. Or I have my number. I have a brochure. Oh, I should have brought some brochures, but I'll hook
We
up
can
with
put
you
it in
later.
the video and in the link.
Oh, yeah. See, I have some brochures which have my phone number on them.
Okay.
And I try my best. If I don't pick up, I try to call back. Leave a voicemail. I will call you back. And but we are connected. We have several people on our board from New York that still lives in New York. So they kind of handle Beacon, New York, and then we have Maryland.
That's great.
So that's kind of how
larger community that way. Divide and conquer.
Yes.
We mentioned doing things in 2020, but what are some of the other future goals? You mentioned a podcast. Did we hear that?
Yes. I just got a Mac, an iBook, iMac, I think it is. And they have this platform. You could do podcasting and download it to Spotify and different things, places like that. Cool. So that's what I want to do. I want to start a podcast, which right now I am IG Live on Tuesday nights, and I have different topics. Tonight, my topic is going to talk about drinking and drugging to cope, the effects of doing that. Yeah. Where you go, what happens while doing that. Do you conquer what you're trying to? It's a long road. You know all about it. So I'm doing that, and my main goal, my vision, God had given me this in 2019, that he was going to manifest Anthony's House of Hope. That's my angle. That is my major future goal. And it's amazing how God works, is because I was sitting one day and I was just thinking about it, and I was just like, God, I want these houses to be all over. I want it to be where people can come and we can help them get on their feet and direct them in the right path, and no judgment. You are God. God is love, and we are here to represent what God would have us to do. And God told me, he said, daughter, that seed has already been planted, because to know Anthony is to know our house was always open. Yeah. He had friends that stayed there always, and got themselves together. It just gives me chills thinking about it. And have went on, and have done great things, and they still keep in touch with me. And I was like, wow, God, it's so amazing, because God had already knew that I was going to only have Anthony for 26 years. Mm-hmm. But he had Anthony. I always look at Anthony as have been a prophet, because he always talked about God in some way or some form. But like Amanda said, he didn't know how to pour into himself like he would pour into other people. So he struggled. Yeah. He struggled.
Wow, you are literally like the 4th or 5th person that has had that same vision, that same goal. So sooner rather than later, I'm just going to get all of us together, because that's one of my visions. And I've got some other women that have the same vision. So we're all right here in this community, and let's try to put our heads together.
Yeah, but that's the long road. But, 2022, right now, what I'm looking for, because like God keep telling me, is I always want things to happen like boom, boom, boom. Like I want it right now. I want an empty household. Open up right now, God. Give me a house I can pull people into, But, he's telling me, we gonna get there a little bit at a time. So, but right now, I'm trying to get A-Sicka Hills grounded in Maryland, and especially in Waldorf first. Yeah. Start right here. We kind of already got, Beacon, New York, we're somewhat grounded there. But I really, because Anthony, this was home to him, and it's amazing, because one time he told me we had just moved here, and he begged me. He was like, Mom, please just let me move back to Beacon. And I got a little worried about him, because he would be in the bedroom by himself. He wasn't like making friends, and he hadn't gotten to high school. He was just in junior high. And he would be in there, and he was talking to himself, playing the game. But I always remember my mom would always say, as long as you don't answer yourself, you good. You can talk to yourself as much as you want. So he kept begging me, Mom, could I just move back to my Aunt Eunice's? Can I move with Uncle Phil? I want to go back to the. I said, when you turn 18, you can do what you want. Right now, we staying in Waldorf, and we going to make this work. He got to high school, he graduated, and one day he said, Mom, the best thing you ever did was not let me move back to New York. And that just warmed my heart, because I said, yes, I did something right. I know I did that right. So I say all that to say is he ended up loving Waldorf. Yeah. He did. And he ended up meeting amazing people like you, and so many people that I've met since he passed away.
Yeah, I can see what you mean about the prophet, because he was also always speaking into people's lives. Like, it was just amazing how he was able to gather people around him and just speak right into their lives. So I definitely see what.
Yeah, and I mean, I ran into a guy one time at the cemetery, and he was just laying on the grass, and he was like, I come here because his spirit, and he always talked to me. And a couple of weeks ago, the day of his anniversary of his 3 years being passed, my sister was at the cemetery, and she ran into another guy that went to school with him in Thomas Stone, and said, we still talk about him. We still just say about his spirit. And most of his friends, they say when they get together, they're like, that one piece is missing. Yeah. It's because he just had the love for people. It's amazing.
Well, Pam, thank you for doing the interview, and you know that I will continue to join as much as I can with you guys. But I'm going to put all the links up with the video so that people can connect with you. And I am excited to see what God is going to do with you guys.
I can't wait. And you know what? And it's so many people like yourself is a part of this, is a part of A-Sicka Hills. You may not be a physical member of the foundation, but you are a part of his legacy, because you speak volume, because you've been there. You was in the trenches with him. Yeah. And you know who he was as a person. And that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. One last thing, for those who don't know, A-Sicka was his nickname, and that's how A-Sicka Heals became the foundation name. I forgot to mention that, but for those who don't know, A-Sicka was his nickname.
Yes.
So, in honor of Anthony, thank you.
Thank you for having me.